last few meetings as we move the project on, and it's got a lot of positive developments, and that's the status update of the J Street Community Center. And we certainly thank the Seaside Park School Board for their contribution, and the facility has gotten a lot of new accoutrements and a lot of extras, and it's well on its way. So I'll turn it over to Karen about any more update where we are.
So we have some new furniture, new television, ping pong table by way of the school, by way of Matt, actually, donated to the school donated it back to us.
Is that my father's?
One of the items on the regular meeting, we just got a quote for the ramp, the handicap ramp on the outside. We asked for 3 quotes, we got 2, the third vendor was unresponsive, so that meets our purchasing requirements. But the first quote was for $109,000 just to do the ramp. The one that's on your regular agenda meeting tonight is for $27,620. That allows us to use the grant money that we got for this project, the $38,000. So if the governing body approves the resolution in the regular meeting, we can engage Cross Fencing tomorrow and have them start to build that ramp. And absent that, we'll still need to do the modifications to the interior, perhaps in the summer. But it's ready to go, and the fire marshal was there today, did the inspection. We just need to get the certification from the fire marshal.
It looks great. They painted it, they cleaned it, it's comfortable. Yep, it's looking good.
So,
Great.
When can they start using it?
up to me.
When do they make that decision?
I mean, the only thing that we need administratively is that there will be sort of a signing in process. We're gonna ask people to reserve the community room, much in the same way they reserve this room, or they reserve the senior room at Borough Hall. It's a simple phone call to Borough Hall, we have a calendar up there, and, because we just wanna make sure that there's no overlap, or anything for accountability and liability, the people in the building, we wanna make sure we know who's in the building when.
So it's not exclusive to one party being there, other parties can also be there at the same time?
Sure, and it's not like it's just gonna be open 24/7. It's, if people wanna use it in the evening hours, we'll have the police unlock it, we'll have it hooked up at the end, much like we do when people wanna use Borough Hall in the evening hours.
I envision it as a community clubhouse rather than a reserved.
Yeah, dedicated.
Venue. Yeah,
It's open to the public.
It's a process in motion. I don't think there's any, we're gonna see how it works out, right, Marty?
I agree. See how it
Time goes on, yeah?
What time does it, what's the earliest start time? TBD?
I think once we get the certification from the fire marshal, we can post it in there, which hopefully we should get any day now. We just did the inspection today.
You should be good.
You got that through the email.
After the bars close, I think.
So, and while it's open,
Then there should be cots in there.
Yeah, it should be gone, yeah.
we'll still have some work to do while it's open. I mean, we talked about the ramp, but we still need to put maybe some pictures on the walls and things like that. We have to put a sign on the outside, but all that can be done while it's open. So,
Curly's 2. Few people will get that.
that's a throwback.
Yeah.
Anything else on that topic from council?
Yeah, that's good.
On the rest of the agenda, item A, there's a letter that the council has received from freeholder or commissioner, director Joseph Vicari, and it focuses on a automobile insurance increase proposed for its, and a request for the State Department of Banking and Insurance to take into account Ocean County's situation and projected or modified estimate because of especially the commuter impact on, the resolution says our young families, college students, those traveling from Ocean County without the mass transportation. And the Board of Commissioners had passed a resolution on that topic. And that's on for consideration on the regular meeting also. Anyone have any questions?
I think his letter was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, the way he
It's
worded it.
ridiculous, the prices are ridiculous.
But is it just Ocean County or is it a statewide
It's
increase?
statewide,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, so every town and every community and every county in the whole state's got to do this. I guess that's what they're trying to do.
That seems to be,
But
yeah.
it seems like there's a little something behind it more than this, because, every year these guys go for rate increases, and then the state makes them justify it. So, I mean, it's the state, Department of Insurance and banking and insurance, and I mean, there sounds like there's more going on than this. I mean, there's no new tort law or anything coming down the pike, is there?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, I don't know. I don't want my insurance rates to increase, but, I just think this is weird. Not true. But I'm for it.
Yes, I'm certainly for it.
The next is a letter also from the Director of the Board of Commissioners, and a similar request that entity had passed a resolution, and it deals with dangerous cable utility pole hotline and creation of a 1-800 number. And it talks about cables, utility wires, and the likes.
Yeah.
I think it's very good to have something like this. People can't distinguish what kind of cable it is, so if it's universal, call them, just say there's a wire hanging, kind of help things along.
We could use it around here where the pole's leaning, but.
That's in there.
So is it going to be?
Many polls are part of that. and
Then we'll be their first call.
Hey, poles falling.
Let's get the clerk. Every day, Mrs. Clerk. I want you to call the state, hotline. Complain about hanging poles. See what kind of action we get after that.
And then next is for information purposes. It's a document shredding date. The county institutes that every year, and they try to have a location or site and time in Seaside Park, and they've proposed one again. And it's gone to Eric for his input, and that is on for our consideration as well.
The last one we had was very successful, and it was well organized, and
It's
traffic
trained.
flow was very
Yeah, well, the
good.
location's much
The
better.
14
That was,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
great, yeah.
We'll do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just we can't publicize the date yet. It'll be a Saturday in May, but it's still.
and it's gotta be coordinated with the
Yeah, the
county.
county, so.
Yeah. And the next is related, and everyone has a draft, I believe, of a garbage recycling pickup schedule, the dates, times, sections of the town for 2024. And Eric wanted to get that in the works so that there was adequate time to circulate it and hear for any input from anybody on council.
Yeah, it's just like last year, and there was 2-day Zooms on April 16th, so.
Marty, you want to?
It does change
Yeah, change.
just dramatically.
Yeah.
So,
Marty, go ahead.
well, I'm looking for the dates, remember the exact date, I'm trying to find. Can you remember the exact date it makes the change?
That's the second week in November.
I
Starting
concentrated
with
on the
the
start at the end.
The Oceanside and the Bayside would be picked up entirely on Monday. That would alleviate, when you put out your garbage on Sunday, the people that leave, the entire town would be picked up on Monday. Instead of picked up on Monday on the Oceanside and Tuesday on the Bayside.
Yep, I see.
That's the major change.
Yeah, it used to be once, it's still going to be once a week, but it's both going to be on Monday rather than on 2 different days. But it's going to create a little bit of a logistic problem perhaps with our public works employees.
It's just a personnel issue we need to address that we've
Yeah.
been talking about for a little while now. Because we'll need 6 people, we'll need to put 2 trucks out
Yeah.
on Monday, so we'll need 6 people. The drivers aren't problems, because we have plenty of people who can drive, it's just the people on the back of the truck. So, but, we're working towards addressing those public works personnel issues too, so.
And the recommendation comes out of the fact that people who leave on Sunday are putting garbage out, and it's not being picked up till Tuesday. It's creating a huge disruption with bottles going down and garbage going down and lids. So this is an opportunity to kind of help fix that.
But one big
Which makes a lot
problem-
of sense, because we experience it quite a bit.
But one big problem is going to be compliance, because it's going to be hard to let everyone know in an adequate amount of time, and that everybody is on board, because if not, people that are used to putting it out on Tuesday are going to put it out on Tuesday. There's people talking in the audience. I can't discuss anything.
No, I don't disagree with you, that people are used to, like myself, you can't keep an old.
Well, if somebody puts it out like they're going
You're used
to
to
do on
it.
Tuesday, then it's going to be out all the way through till the next
We have to
weekend.
publicize it well.
Yeah.
This is our decision.
By the way, on that issue, in Tom's River, I could never figure out what's the holiday, when they're coming, is it gonna be a holiday, what's the next day? So, just for everyone's edification, I came upon, there's an app called Recycle Coach.
Yes.
And you go to Recycle Coach, you put in your municipality, it's an app, it's on my phone now, all I do is hit it, and it gives me the next 2 weeks. Blue dots are recycling, black dots are garbage, and it tells me when they're coming. I never have to go back to the Tom's River website, I don't have to figure out where's the holiday schedule, what's going on. It's right on your phone, you put in your municipality, and it will tell you when they're coming. What day is a holiday, they're not coming that day, and for you, and it's fantastic. Just as throwing it out to you.
No,
And
that's
it's
great.
great. It's, after 24 years of living in Tom's River, leaving South Seaside Park, I finally know the garbage and recycling, so.
So does each town have to submit this
No,
information?
well, they have it for some, I don't know how they do it, they have it, they have it. All I did was put it, it came right up, unless they don't. I would, you might want to go right now, so see if they have Seaside Park now. Recycle Coach, my municipality. I'm telling
It's
you.
just recycling though.
It's in there, Seaside Park is in there?
Yeah.
You go to Seaside Park, and from then on, you'll always have it on your
That is
smartphone.
garbage or just recycling?
Both.
Yeah. I'll pick up.
It's fantastic. And you never have to worry, just go to your app and you'll know when it's
But
coming.
not everybody, some people.
Not everybody has it, yeah.
And some people are still doing stuff that we haven't done for 15 years.
Yeah.
They were mentioned it today, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to be, we're going to have to advertise this somehow.
We're gonna have to do a lot of education, social media, through our website. I'm gonna look into that app tomorrow, that's a great
So you
idea.
might want to put it on the website, for recycling garbage, here's the app, it's Recycle Coach, and you'll never not know what's a holiday, what's day is not coming, or,
Right.
it's just a thought, that's all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
What's everybody's pleasure or thoughts on the recommendation? Go ahead with it? and
Try it.
Give
Yeah.
our,
I'd like to give it a try.
because he'd like to get this
I
out.
think it would alleviate a lot of the garbage that's going around, in the Bayside especially.
We'll see. And it's, I know.
I just, what you're saying, Doctor.
Been through this before.
You say, I
Yeah.
understand, but it's hard to educate, get the word out,
I know.
change.
You get a lot of
Not easy.
blowback. That's what happened the last time.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
The leaf pickup also. There's my garbage, my leaf, my recycling.
We don't have as many.
Yeah, you gotta get my
Worry
leaves
about
picked
it.
up.
I'll come get it.
Okay.
And it continues the recycling on Wednesdays, as always.
And for Christmas, there's 2 pickups that week. One on the day after Christmas, for the Christmas garbage, we added that one in there. And same for January 1st. There's 2.
It's too fine printing to put the trees on there to get tree pickup too, or you can bring them, drop them off.
I forget what we did with the trees. We had artificial
We've
trees.
been doing it Thursdays. the Thursdays after.
We could ask Eric
You
about
know
that.
what, you're correct, but it's not on here.
I mean, it's pretty fine songs, but you could, I don't know,
No, it can,
that's what we've had recent times.
How soon after Christmas?
I think they had it every Thursday for at least 3 of them, but I'm not sure, that's
you're
why I had,
correct, I don't see it on the back.
I'm
I'll
not,
check with Eric.
yeah. Remember last year, but,
That included.
I mean, you could bring it, but that's more of a pain, you get all the sap all
It
over.
says here, Christmas trees in January only. It doesn't say what day.
Yeah, all that.
It just says you can drop them off. This, Carolyn, I do remember that used to be on the old one. I didn't have the old one coming. You know, this year's, I should say, not the old one.
Yeah, I have the shoes on.
Just bring it up on your phone.
It's on it.
So really, the only change is just if people move on the Bayside, instead of a once a week off-season pickup on a Tuesday, it'll be once a week off-season pickup on a Monday.
Right, and it's only from what days?
Middle of November till the middle of April.
All right.
Excuse me?
24,
We could start that earlier.
2024.
This is proposed for 2024.
It's not on 23's either.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we tried it, and people didn't like it, so we put it back to twice a week. Right, remember, Bill?
Well, we don't have twice a week in the winter.
No, not anymore.
Well, no, but it's going back and forth.
No, we did try it, we got a lot of pushback.
Yeah, we got a lot of pushback from it.
But the last couple of years has been one day a week, and once a week.
Try it.
Well,
It's just, it's all on
everybody's
Monday, that's
thoughts
not
and,
too many difference.
give her a go ahead with it.
Yes,
So,
The next, item was a request to put on, resident parking along Ocean Avenue.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't either.
That sounds like a mess. What?
You brought it up.
I did?
You wanted, yeah, because Paul Barnes has something.
Oh, that one, there's another one about, parking that is, I was reading something about parking.
But that's coming up.
Oh, that's the
That's
second
coming
one.
up, right? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one.
But what was
Well,
the,
this one's just, I just throw it out. I promised I'd throw it out, let people know. We're wondering why, and there aren't any, people along the Ocean Avenue that have limited parking.
well, that one section on the bend doesn't have it on the westerly side of Ocean Ave, where everybody else
Right,
has.
from Island Ave to the Heights,
Right.
they can park on the Ocean
No,
Avenue.
yeah.
But from Island North, you can, in front of the houses.
But you can't though, right, so you can't in that area,
You
so.
can't in that area, so those people are wondering, I don't know how we're gonna do it, I just thought I'd throw it out there, how we could make an exception for them, I don't know how you can do it. That they could actually park across the street rather than waiting till the end of paid parking season. I don't know, I just said, throw it out there. I don't know, you're gonna be talking about parking anyway, right?
Well, there was, a few years back, we put the seasonal parking pass, which is still in our code. For $250, you get the full unlimited all season long. From April through the end of October, you can park in any lots, any of the metered spots for a flat fee. And initially, at that time, aside from some of the north end, I anticipated some of the oceanfront homeowners would engage that and use it. They really didn't. They didn't, but it's still technically in our code as an available option. I don't know if we even have the tickets for it, but there was a sticker you put on, and I thought that was a reasonable fee
Yeah, I don't
to
think
get
we
that
got rid
extra
of it.
parking, and then you can park in any of the numbered spots.
I don't think we got rid of it either, but we sell 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, it was something like
The
that.
first year was like, yeah, it was a little bit, and then the next year we had a few, and then that was it.
And none of them were on Ocean Avenue, I don't think.
But that was kind of the result of that same request, and that was the only option that we really thought was, I don't know if it was illegal or inappropriate to do that.
I don't know, I just think on the off-season, it does kind of place a unfair hardship on them,
Off-season?
way.
On season.
Yeah, off-season.
Yeah, but right now,
I mean, off-season,
there's
that's
no
right.
meter.
On-season, they're used to doing it.
Right, but there's no meters right now in effect, so from October through,
Right, but they wanted to go, they just don't, when all the crowds leave here and the streets are empty, and they still have to walk around,
no, I got it.
the block down the street, park the car, carry the groceries back in, or drop the groceries. I see the point.
I
I just
got
don't have a solution.
I know.
But, that's what work sessions are for.
Yeah. No, we had the same problem when we were talking about it the first time, trying to come up with a plan that would work.
I do have, but I talked about this. Someday after I'm off council, maybe I'll come in as a citizen if the mayor allows me, and I'll present my parking plan, but I have to wait for these, we have to wait, what's going on with the beach replenishment? Is that on now or off, or?
I think it's been,
It's been delayed
Delayed
at the
to
federal level.
2024.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced. No, the bids were rejected, federal bids.
I don't know if it's gonna be bid or not.
Yeah, they're really,
I don't think it'll happen next year.
I don't see it.
The only reason I never wanted to present anything was because Maniloki, if you recall, got mandated to provide a whole lot of parking that they didn't have before for the public, for the public trust doctrine,
Mhm.
You need beach access. They didn't have it up there, so the feds came in and said, well, you guys have to provide this. So I really didn't want to rock the boat in terms of messing with our parking situation here, save having the federal government come in and tell us what we have to do.
They've been in Point Beach
Yeah.
access, they've been up and down this shoreline,
Right.
access issues.
So,
Very aggressive.
very aggressive.
I'm talking about the NJDEP also,
DEP as well.
Army Corps and NJDEP, very aggressive.
Does paid parking suffice to fill that?
Sure.
Okay.
But it's a touchy subject, and I feel that it's, my personal feeling, obviously, my counselor here to my right has, the end word on it all, that I think it's best to just leave a sleeping dog lie, don't you, right now? So, it's in veterinary terms.
Okay.
The next is also parking related.
We could go chew on that. Hey.
And that entails a request from a business to have we've got some businesses with 15-minute parking and some with 30 minutes.
This is the one I'm saying.
But there's a lot of 15 minutes already.
There are.
Yeah, did you see that letter from the guy at the state?
Which guy? From the state?
Lieutenant Fitzgerald
State?
Yeah.
wrote, and he got a response from Alton Alliage from the NJDOT, who said, usually you do a resolution and you submit it to us for review, which I sort of scratched my head because I don't think we've been following that procedure because
2017, I think we did the last one.
yeah, because our traffic code, NJSA 39:4-8, talks about traffic ordinances or resolutions by local authorities and says, except as otherwise provided, no ordinance, resolution, regulation concerning traffic adopted by any board or body having jurisdiction over the highways can be done unless it's approved by the commissioner. And then it says, however, unless you refer to 39:4-197, which we've done and we've cited, and 39:4-197, and its subsections provide that a municipality can, by ordinance, restrict parking, and particularly 39:4-197.4 specifically says, notwithstanding the provisions of this chapter, no ordinance adopted by any municipality designating any streets or streets under the jurisdiction of any such municipality now, is Central under our jurisdiction?
Highway.
It's a state highway.
Highway.
So, I don't know if we need the commissioner's approval or not.
I think we ought to look back 2017, when you handled it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if we did it and sent it to the DOT for approval, which I think, bless you.
Thank you.
Which I think we might have done.
And have our Tiger here write a letter to this Alton fellow and straighten his boat out, right?
Well, I don't know. I didn't say that. But I think we should clarify it, and I can talk to the chief, he'll remember too. If we have to do the ordinance, give it to them for their approval of the plan. It may be,
I didn't think we had to go through all this.
I didn't either,
No.
so,
It might open a can of worms.
Could.
I hope it didn't. Yeah, well, now it's kind of down to it.
so, I mean, look, I can look further into it, I don't think in the past we have, I can check with the chief and go from there. I think, I would say at this point, we should do a little bit more. I just want to chat with the chief, I have a chance to call him on it and just chat with him and see if we've done it in the past, and if not, if it's something we do have to do.
If I recall, Murph was the chief at the time, but if I recall, this date right here, May 26, 2016, when we passed that, just prior to that, that's when we did a lot of changes at that
Right.
point. And we did get their permission,
I thought we'd sent it to the DOT for approval.
and it was like a rubber stamp
Yeah,
at the time.
it wasn't a big to-do, as they said.
But this guy's saying we have to jump through hoops, and I don't think
You
that's...
already have a couple on Central Avenue,
Oh, yeah.
every 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, there's a,
Yeah, I think we do the draft and we do the plan, we send it to them, and it's,
I review what we did back in 2017,
so I think I just gotta take a little bit more look at it before we, I would agree with Dr. McKeon.
the other issue that this applicant's asking is different somewhat than the ones that we've approved or that are in
He
place.
just sees them.
He's asking for the summer season only,
Only.
Memorial Day, Labor Day. There are a number on Central Avenue now that are all year.
I think it's too complicated that way, just do it 15 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because in the summer, they used to put, in certain areas, they put the signs up during the summer season just for the 15-minute parking there, and then they take it down. They weren't, there was a couple of areas this year that they didn't go up at all.
Right.
And I know from businesses saying, hey, how come our signs aren't up? So maybe we should review all of those areas defined in the ordinance, just to see, maybe there needs to be an adjustment or something along those lines.
Yeah, I was talking to the mayor today, and I looked at what we have in our ordinance, I'm saying, I don't recall seeing all those signs in all those places for that parking.
Couple of seasons now.
And
they haven't
it
done it.
doesn't say seasonal in here, these are all year round, so I was scratching my head myself.
Well, some of those signs
They would
are
put them
up
out.
seasonally, though.
Yeah, they would only put them out in the beginning of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
About, because they're closed otherwise.
That's what I'm saying, so I think maybe an overall review would be good.
I guess only when they're open.
A lot of them have different times too. 8 to 5.
Some in those sections are not,
Yeah.
just
Right.
seasonal, some are open year round,
Yeah.
right? Nino's or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Not right
liquor
now.
stores, the
Not to worry about it.
Not yet. I think,
General Power,
When was that?
they're open 24/7. They're in there between H and J, I noticed, or something.
Yeah.
They're on the corner of I.
they are,
down in, 3 Cs, they have them down
they
there.
have them in there.
All right.
Because this guy, when I read his response, I'm like, holy crap, this guy wants us to do a lot of stuff. Do you get that too? Yeah, that we've never had to do before, and I don't think we
It
should.
looks like they're bureaucratic.
It fell in the hands of the wrong guy.
All right.
So we'll get,
I'll
all right.
follow up on
We
it,
can
Mayor.
do that one.
I'll say what.
But it should be for year round, it's just simplified.
Yeah, I think the seasonal,
Just
but now he's open, 7-Eleven is open year round.
Yeah,
Just
And
another.
he's not looking for 7 spaces in the angle and 2 in front. Was marked, that was
That's
it.
what it was looking for.
It is marked in the front, I think, already.
So when you pull up, there's like 2 spots before you get to the condo.
Right.
And in that location, there is central Ave parking, but I think people prefer just pulling up.
yeah.
And there's 3 off-street
Safer.
spots, I believe there's 3 or 4 off-street spots.
Here.
It's kind of
I'm showing you.
tight.
He just wants these two,
Sure, yeah.
and these two.
Yeah.
I don't know, I look at the sign myself.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I mean,
The other item for work session, that we'd approved this in the past, but it entails modification. And it entails the ongoing reconstruction, the elevation project of Bayview Avenue, Phase 1, and Phase 2. We have the two resolutions. I know those on the committee and Karen have some of the more details why this has come up again.
So we received two grants, two NJDOT grants, 2022, 2023. And the engineer gave us a proposal to do the design, the construction plans, which they did. And then when we found out what kind of grant money we would be getting, we realized that we would have to scale that project down somewhat in order to keep the construction costs close to the grant money. So this modification of the proposal from T&M is just, now they have to do a redesign of the initial design because the project is scaled down. And so that's what these two proposals are, one for Phase 1 and one for Phase 2.
Was also is a project that involves state money, county money, town money.
And likely federal money too, because the county might be able to get us some American
And
Rescue Plan funds.
That's what we're hoping that will cover these extra expenses. That's what we're hoping. But, that was originally Phase 1 actually was designed by, I think, RDE.
It had to be
if I'm
RDE.
mistaken. Yeah,
This is 14th Avenue to 8th Avenue.
right. It's 14th to 11th, and then 11th to 8th. Lane days.
What?
So anybody have any issues? That's resolution 309 and 310.
I don't think we really have a choice, Mayor.
No, I mean, it's really in conjunction with that which we approved previously and the circumstances where they are. That concludes the written agenda of the work session. Anyone else on council have anything further? If not, we'll go into the audience if there are any public comments or questions on work session items, if anyone has them, if they could give their name and address. Yes, sir.
I'm Tom Joseph, 704 South Bayview Avenue. I wanted to comment on a couple of the things you guys discussed. The first one is that 800 number for reporting down lines and down poles. Nobody's going to know that number when they come across a down line or a down pole. If you post it on the poles so that people will go, oh, there's a line, there's a number up on the pole, I should go look at that. The last thing we want, if it's actually a down power line, is somebody running up to the pole to read a phone number. My suggestion is we recognize that people dial 911 when they come across things like that. And unless there is some serious reason to not have them dial 911, creating an 800 number that nobody except the power company is going to use when they run across a down line, to me, seems like a wasted effort.
It's not, may I say
Let me
something?
read, go ahead, Doctor.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
This is, you know the 800 number before you dig?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing now, and it doesn't go to the power company, it goes to the Board of Public Utilities, which really has a lot of power over the power companies.
Okay.
But, it's not, this is more of a maintenance reporting things that aren't, that may be failing, that they want the power company to know about, and they want it on record. Right now, I don't know if you know, but we have a bunch of leaning poles in town.
Oh, yeah.
Has nothing to do with this has nothing to do with down wires. It's my understanding.
Oh, this is for down
It's
one.
just-
Oh, down wires too.
Okay, this is, let me read the exact
Yeah,
wording.
go ahead.
In order to create such a hotline should be similar to the 1-800 call before your dig system. It's not gonna be a full phone number. It's gonna be like when we call for when you're before you put a tree in your property. You don't look at the
That's,
number.
that's fine, as long as the first line of the notice that you put on the pole is, if this is an emergency, dial 911.
Well, where's your pole down before you put a tree on your property? You have to call.
Yeah, but that's not even remotely an emergency situation.
This isn't only emergency.
I understand that, but my concern is somebody worries about finding that number when there is an emergency situation. So if you make it clear that this is to report maintenance issues with the overhead cable structure, sure.
I think this might also apply, like if we call 911, we call the police, I think the police will call this number. I
That's
think
fine.
that's what this is all about. It's a hotline to cover issues that may not be otherwise known.
It's not a general emergency, 911.
I mean, I came across a line running across one of the roads about 5 years ago. And it was, I don't know, First or Second Avenue, somewhere in there in the ocean block. I knew it was a cable company line, but it was low enough to be across the road where a car would run into it. I called 911.
The average
But
person's got
that's,
one.
And I think, and that, we're not doing it with 911.
okay, my point is, the way the wording was in the agenda and whatnot is that if you come across a situation, you try to find this 800 number. If it's a maintenance thing, I agree with you completely, I have no problem with that. And I don't want to argue.
He says this isn't even our ordinance, our.
No, this is-
This is something that the county's saying, we're just giving it our blessings, that's fine. I'm not gonna get into what's right and what's wrong, I'm not gonna write them a letter and say, hey, you guys gotta reword this and pass it again, because otherwise we're not gonna okay it. We're just giving it our blessing. Period, done, see ya. I'm not gonna debate it, I'm sorry, there's nothing to debate in my opinion.
Okay.
It's really a simple thing.
Different issue.
Okay.
On the idea of moving all the off-season garbage collection to Monday, sounds like a good idea, to be honest. The only issue with it, which you guys talked about, is how do you publicize this so that people learn to put their garbage out in time for a Monday?
That's what
I think that's the right issue.
That's what we mentioned. Yeah.
And, you know, the things that come to mind is that emergency 911 number that we now have that's supposed to work. Call everybody and say this is changing, let them know so they can go get the
We
information.
mentioned that today, but we've got a new system and not everybody signed up for
Very few
it.
people signed up for that.
Okay, I gotta answer that with, I was told when that came up that all the people that were signed up were gonna be transferred over. Is
Yes.
that not true?
No, that is true.
That's supposed to
That is
happen,
true.
I don't know. I'm going to be registered myself, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I was only registered on one of them, and I still have, I believe. There are two of them.
There's two, right? One's for the emergency report, and the other one is for.
The neighborhood one, by the way, you go to the link on the neighborhood one, because I just did it 10 minutes ago, and it goes nowhere.
Was that the old one?
It's the police.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But the other thing, just give the garbage guys a bunch of adhesive notices to go stick on everybody's trash cans who's on the Bayside. Do it for 2 or 3 weeks until you hit the cutoff date, and then run the trucks one more week to see if anybody still sticks stuff out on Tuesday. And people will learn, or they won't.
Yeah, it's not a bad
And
idea.
I think it's a great idea to
Yeah.
shift to one day. It sounds like it would save you some man hours. So, anyway.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on work session item? Yes, sir.
Dr. Phil Newfield, 68 Decatur Avenue. I want to pick up on what Councilman McHugh said about Ocean Avenue parking and the can of worms, because it is. I spoke with a few hundred voters over the summer, and one question that came up by a number of voters was, what am I getting for my tax dollar? And that's a serious question, I think, for any taxpayer to ask. One of the issues that came up was parking. People can't park in front of their homes, particularly in the south end of town. Ocean Avenue, as Councilman McHugh indicated, I think it would really behoove you to begin to survey, taxpayers, homeowners in that area, and find out what the real issues are with respect to parking, and really address it, because a lot of people are questioning, why can't I park in front of my home? Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on work session items? Hearing none, I'd close the work session. Yes. Oh, yes.
Sorry, that's because I don't come regularly, but
That's fine.
Pat Urso, 137 10th Avenue. Number one, I don't remember exactly what the reconstruction project is, 309 and 310. You said that, we basically approved it a few years ago, and now it's too much money, and so they have to what is the project?
What's too much money?
Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Yeah, every year we apply for these grants, Department of Transportation grants. This is for these are grants, monies that we got in 2022, and the round that happened in 2023, we just put in an application, there's one right now in the works for 2024, Stockton Avenue, right? So what we have done is utilize that money and try to get that money for the town. The grant monies, if we work, every year we work on these grants, and we've got them for, in fact, I've been the one involved in this, for ever since 2016, I believe, and we've been getting grants. One went toward 8th Street and G Street. Recently, there were two, and they were combined into one project because we bid them as a whole unit, so we got one contractor to bid on it rather than doing one year, one the next, and it just saved the town money. So we're doing the same thing with the 2022-23 grants, and what we're trying to do is raise Bayview Avenue a little bit so we can get in and out of town when the weather gets hot. And also, some of the roads, like we also did it on 12th Avenue, 13th Avenue, two sections of 12th Avenue.
I now know what you're talking about.
14th Avenue, we've been doing this for quite a while, but that's what this is. And these projects, gotta remind you, Bayview Avenue is a county road, right?
Right.
So everything we do has to involve the county, and we have to ask for their contribution as well, which we have gotten their commitment to this project. So we've got the state DOT grants, we combined them both, to bid them as one project. We have our town contribution and maybe the feds. That's what we're working on now. So we had to change things around a little bit.
So it's just the purpose is to resurface, raise a little bit.
It's,
Do you do the runoff sewer?
yes, and the streets are going to, the streets aren't pitched that well, so we're trying to change that too. If you look around 11th Avenue and Bayview, it's terrible.
Yes.
So we're trying to eliminate that like we did on 12th, like we did on H, like we did on G,
Got it.
and that's what this is all about.
Great.
And also, you know, that
Sorry
big,
you had to explain so much.
oh, that's all right, you don't come very often, so I wanted to catch you up.
Thanks.
And then also where it runs into 14th Avenue, you know, that big dip.
Right.
It's gotten better over the years, but we're trying, maybe that's not on our property, but maybe we'll be able to make that a little less of a dip.
Okay. Only one other question. I wasn't sure, Karen, what you said about when the community center will be open.
Well, I think it has to, I guess it's a decision that soon. There's a few minor details. If we do have to get the certification from the fire marshal, we just did the inspection today.
Right. I
there's a-
heard you say that. So, but you said something about when we're open, but I missed it.
But we didn't set a date yet. I think it's the pleasure of the governing body, and
I just think you need to have the ramp in place, do you, before?
we do
you
not.
open?
It's been an ongoing business, clubhouse or whatever. We're going way back, so we don't need any special zoning or anything.
Right.
There's no change in use, right, Counselor?
So I guess we're just waiting for the fire marshal to give us the green light.
We'll
And
get that.
then maybe it'll open real soon. That's great.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Any other questions, comments on work session items? Hearing none, I'd close the work session and entertain a motion to take a brief adjournment and then begin the regular meeting.
So moved.
By Council Pratt, second by Council President DeMichael. Anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, we'll stand adjourned momentarily.